we don't seem to have the same courage in terms of economic policy in this nation to help us through problems. Like for the example, the problems we just talked about, stamp duty, the silliness of it, and payroll taxes, silliness of us, and we've got right in front of us, we've got a GST that John Howard introduced. It works, makes sense. People are used to it. They're not going to blow up too much. Do you despair at the lack of courage? Is it?
Absolutely. I think when you have so many intelligent people around and talking and communicating that the government does not pick up on this, it is disheartening. It's also disheartening that the people that need the most amount of help, what is common sense, what needs to be done, just doesn't get done. And unfortunately, it's a case that what will keep me in party? What are the strategies just over that term that work? There's no long-term vision, and it's the way the whole system is set up. And unfortunately, if you're planning and strategizing just for your term to get that through, we're never going to get ahead. And some common sense is seriously missing.
And I know, like in my own dad's case, who's nearly 90, in my dad's case, he's never earned so much money as he has in the last 2 years. Never, in terms of interest on his deposit.
Yes,
money on deposit.
yeah.
And Dad's not really a spend through person, but he's in his centenarian period, and he equally doesn't want to have to take it with him, and he's spending it.
Yeah,
buying gifts for his grandkids, his great grandkids, his kids. He's going to spend his money. And but my dad comes through, so he's one of the people who actually are pushing down on those mortgage holders so much so that by spending money so much so that those mortgage holders are going to have to pay higher interest rates or have had to pay higher interest rates unfairly because of the spending habits of someone like my dad's generation or his cohort of people. But if my dad found out that, hang on, everything's going to go up in price by 5% or go up by 50% because of a 5% GST increase. GST is going to go up by 50%. My dad, coming from a certain type of personality, he said, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to spend the money. I'll save it.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep saving it because I'm going to get a good interest rate anyway in the current environment. So it is truly it's not the burden is truly shared because my dad's not actually going to spend. Those people from that period of life, those people who were born in the 30s and 40s and 50s have gone through depressions and world wars and all sorts of things, and especially the migrants, they're not going to spend the dough.
No, that's right. But I think you said an important point before that it's a lever that goes up or goes down as needed. Because let's not underestimate, we do still need people to spend. I mean, we've got, businesses, we've got the economy, we've got to keep pushing through. Unfortunately, this is a cycle that
But you can play with it.
You can play with it. That's the important thing, to play with it. Rather than just rest everything. I mean, I've been around for a while, as you say, we're both old.
But you've seen a few cycles.
I've seen a few cycles. The fact that the burden was placed essentially on middle belt Australia, lower income, people that were told, go out, go borrow. The RBA was giving cheap money. Go out, get these home loans. They did. And then what happens? 13 rate hikes, slap with that. Then, okay, it's all okay. We can go on mortgage pauses. Go on mortgage pauses. Well, this was something I spoke about the other day on the Today Show. A mortgage pause is fine, but it's like sitting in a cab stuck in traffic watching that meter tick up.
Because it adds up.
It adds up.
Your principal adds up.
So I had one situation where a viewer was actually on a mortgage pause. She got a phone call when it ended. Hey, you owe us the interest accrued now, plus keep your mortgage repayments, jack those back up again. How is this helping anyone? And how did we get to a situation where we have put the whole burden on one group within the community? I just don't get it. I mean, I may not be as smart as the politicians. They're in that role, but just did not. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic now, little Mark. I'm just not sure how we got to this situation. Just doesn't make sense. And I bet you if you had a politician that did have some common sense, they would get people's votes and they would be in there.
Well, we're going to finish off on this because I won't keep it much longer, but it bothers me a little bit, and I'd like to hear what you commented on it, it bothers me a little bit that even the opposition's not talking about it. So it sort of indicates to me that both sides of politics are taking the view, let's not rock the boat.
Yeah.
We just want to get voted back in.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like a bit of an oligopoly, doesn't it? We have
it's going to be either you or
Senate
me.
inquiries into supermarkets, doing price gouging. I mean, look at our parties; they're no better.
Yeah, that bothers the hell out of me. And I mean, I I'm not necessarily promoting Paul Keating or Bob Hawke or John Howard for that matter, or Malcolm Fraser, but they had massive conviction. And I just think the world's changed a lot, but unfortunately hasn't changed for the better. And I'm looking for a party. The party that's going to get my vote is the one that goes out and makes these big calls and makes these big decisions. It's not about having a talk fest and let's have another inquiry into the tax system, all that stuff. It's about making the calls. They know what calls to make. They know the calls.